All right, back for another beer review, and today I will be reviewing yet another beer from the Lagunitas Brewing Company, and they are headquartered in Petaluma, California, and this is their Contents Under Fresher, and this is a part of their 2021 one-hitter series. So they're calling this one a fresh hop IPA that is brewed with Mosaic, Citra, Simcoe, and Sabro. Hops comes in at 7.7% alcohol by volume, 50 IBUs at the time of review. This bottle is just under 6 weeks old. So this beer is surrounded in controversy. Not really. Just a lot of people upset and pissed off that this beer has replaced their Born Yesterday as far as their fresh/wet hop pale ale / IPA release, their seasonal release goes every single fall. And I'm one of them. I'm upset about that. Born Yesterday is one of the best wet hop beers that I've ever had. That series is fantastic. My two favorites as far as like releases go, 2016, 2019, fantastic. In fact, I reviewed the 2019 on the channel and I gave it like a 4.6 out of 5. So delicious beer. Now, these do have similarities. This is brewed with the same hops they used in last year's Born Yesterday release, Mosaic, Citra, Simcoe, and Sabro. I didn't get a chance to try it, so I won't be able to compare or go back and look at my review or anything. So same hops. However, this is using rye malt to, I don't know how much they're using, but they think they said a touch of rye malt. And the ABV is a bit bigger. It's 7.7 last year's release. I think the past couple releases were 7.2%. And the IBUs are dialed down a bit, 50 to, I think 60 was last year, 50 this year. So similarities to some degree with this beer and Born Yesterday, but definitely some differences. And yeah, I don't know. I'm going to go into this one with an open mind, despite the fact that they took away Born Yesterday. Maybe they'll bring it back next year. I still will review this one based on the liquid inside the bottle and try to, you know, take my disdain for them removing Born Yesterday from their release this year. Just throw it to the side. Don't think about it. And we're going to go into this one with an open mind. So yeah, I'm pretty interested in giving this one a go. I will say one other thing as we crack this one open and get into the review. The price point, I always say Lagunitas best bang for buck, one of the best values in craft beer. This beer though, when it was Born Yesterday or when they released Born Yesterday, I remember that beer coming in 6-packs for like 12 to 14 bucks. This was $14 a 4-pack. So maybe they don't have the best value in craft beer anymore. Kind of disappointing. Anyway, let's get it in glass. Another thing about Born Yesterday is it wasn't like super hazy, but it was a decent haze to it most years. And this one doesn't look like it's going to have that much haze. Not that the haze matters. I'm just saying slightly different looking beers in general. So this has this really, not crystal clear, but it's a little bit hazy. Could be chill haze, a little bit of hop haze, but it's, you know, it's not murky or turbid or anything. Has this like orange, little bit of orange, yellow color, more to the orange side, like a brighter, vibrant orange. On camera, probably be a little bit dulled out. About a finger and a half of a bright white. Had that. There's some bigger bubbles, medium, small, kind of a mix. Looks fine. It looks fine. The looks of this beer are fine. The other thing I want to mention too is I just picked this up one recently, and I think it came in maybe in the last week, maybe 10 days. I remember Born Yesterday showing up pretty much 2 weeks fresh, or maybe even fresher. This one, just under 6 weeks, so that's disappointing as well. Although Lagunitas distribution during the pandemic has been pretty bad in my area in general, so I don't know. Anyway, let's get a nose. Okay, it smells pretty good. I'm getting a touch of that rye malt. There's a touch of like spiciness. I wouldn't necessarily say rye, but there's like a spicy component to the nose. Underneath it though, there's a ton of like orange. There's a lot of like zesty orange, sweeter orange, ruby red grapefruit, peach, apricot, maybe a bit of mango. Touch of coconut from the Sabro. Sabro is one of those hops, man. You either love it or hate it, it seems. I know a lot of people who don't like Sabro. I'm one of the people that love it, but I love coconut. And when you add it to IPAs, a lot of times I get that pina colada vibes. Slight pina colada vibes here. I'm not getting a lot of pineapple, but mango, peach, apricot, things of that nature. There's an underlying like dank herbaceousness. I remember the 2019 one, I got like that garlic onion kind of super dank quality to it. And it was really nice because it was mixing in with the rest of the beer and it was just delicious. This one doesn't have that intensity to it, but it's there a little bit. A little bit of like a slight crackery malt sensation. Okay, a little bit more pineapple. I'm getting a little bit of pina colada vibes, but not a lot, just a little bit. Yeah, listen, if you had a different label on here and Born Yesterday was released, yeah, this is fine. This smells like a pretty solid fresh/wet hop release. One thing I will say is disappointing is a lot of the bigger breweries used to come out with like wet hopped IPAs in the fall when they would get the fresh crop and they'd throw them right into the beer and they would brew with it and then they would get it out onto the into the market in a couple weeks. You don't see that too often anymore, and that's kind of a bummer. So I'm still happy that Lagunitas is doing it, but they didn't need to get rid of Born yesterday. Anyway, let's get in this one. Cheers, everyone. That's nice. That's a nice beer. Not going to take anything away from it. Nice beer. It's tasty. Right from, it's a little bit thin at 7.7%. Drinks like lower side of medium. I'd want this more like medium, a little bit touch over. So a little thin on the body. The mouthfeel has a nice crispness to it, but this is really soft and smooth. The mouthfeel is really nice. It has such a smooth finish on it. So I'm really digging the mouthfeel. The taste right up front, that crackery, almost slightly bready malt sensation is the first thing that hits me, and that's underlying in the entire taste. I don't remember that in Born yesterday or any of their, or many, honestly, wet hopped IPAs. I feel like that's so intense. Usually the hop character is the malt character is kind of like, you know, second fiddle, third fiddle, fourth fiddle. The taste though, right up front, orange, zesty grapefruit, zesty ruby red grapefruit. Pass through the palate, those stone fruits hit, peach, apricot, mango. Not really any pineapple, not really any coconut for me on the palate. Middle of the palate, there's a slight, well, decent like pine resin that kind of hits, just hop resin in general, but more to the piney things, side of things. And then it finishes with this moderate bitterness and a moderate dryness. So it balances out. Front half of the palate, it's that sweet malt with those sweet fruits. Second half of the palate, pine resin, earthy hop resin, and a moderate bitterness, moderate dryness. This is a very nice fresh hop / wet hopped IPA. It is. This is a nice, solid, good beer. This cannot touch Born yesterday. Not even close to it. It's very easy to drink. 7.7% hides the alcohol beautifully well, like extremely well. It drinks like something that's 6%. I can't even tell there's any booze. There's none on the palate. There's like no warming in the chest. This is really easy to drink. It's just, man, why'd they have to take away Born yesterday? Why? You know, why? As you can see, I've drank like half of this bottle already. Like, it's not a bad beer whatsoever. And I'm not going to sit here and just shit on this beer because they took away Born yesterday. Like I said, I'm going to review it to what's in the glass. And honestly, rating for Contents Under Fresher, part of their 2021 one-hitter series, I have no problems giving this a straight 4 out of 5. I think it's a good beer. I do. Here's the problem. Born yesterday, I gave it a 4.6 out of 5. That beer was consistently in like a 4.5 out of 5 range, if not like 4.25. It's a better beer than this. The fact that they took it away and made this beer, changed the name, put some rye malt. There's a little bit of spiciness on the back end. Maybe that's a little bit, I was thinking maybe a little bit of the hops are doing that, but it's probably that rye malt. That piney, like almost spicy kind of finish. That's where the rye's probably kicking in. But yeah, it's not a bad beer. This is probably the most disappointed my face will look reviewing a beer that's a 4 out of 5, because that's a good score. This is a very good beer. But when you're comparing it to what they took away and this replaced, it's just disappointing because that beer is superior to this one. And I'm sure there'll be some people that enjoy this one more than Born yesterday, but I haven't seen a single person that was like, I'm glad this replaced Born yesterday. Most people who like this beer are like, why not release Born yesterday too? Why not do 2 of them? I don't know. At the end of the day, disappointed that they replaced Born yesterday, but this is a solid beer. So 4 out of 5 for Contents Under Fresher from Lagunitas. Price and availability, like I said, I paid $14 a 4-pack. I only bought a single bottle. It was like $3.69 or something. You know, usually when you buy a single, they kick it up like a quarter, 50 cents to, you know, because they're selling a single and you have to go through, you have to put stuff into the system and everything. So I get it. But $14 a 4-pack when Born yesterday was, let's just say the same price for 2 more bottles. Like, that's stupid. Anyway, availability. This is where I would say typically wherever you see Lagunitas, but that's not the case. Lagunitas is one of those breweries during the pandemic I feel has been hit really hard with their distribution. I know a viewer of the channel and a good friend of mine, Sadiq, he doesn't even see their stuff too often anymore, like the new releases. And I can say the same thing. A lot of new releases I see from Lagunitas, they just don't show up. Luckily, this showed up, and then their unrefined sugar, which is a variant of their brown sugar. I'm going to review that one. Hopefully that one's pretty tasty, but like, I'm disappointed that this beer had to replace another beer that was beloved by everyone. But at the end of the day, a 4 out of 5, it's a solid, good beer. Just where the fuck is my born yesterday? That's all I'm asking for. Not asking for much. It's going to be born yesterday. Anyway, if you've had this one before, let me know what you think about it. If you're disappointed about Born Yesterday being shelved for this year, you preach it to the choir, because I think we're all disappointed. Anyway, not much more to say. Till the next one. Cheers.